What do you make of what you heard from Ben Johnson? Again, there's a lot there. Talked about today's the last day of installs. Short yardage and goal line will be the focus on offense. Starters, whether or not they'll participate in Sunday's preseason game with the Dolphins, still to be determined, but they'll get a lot of work on Friday when they have the joint practice. Anything else catch your ear or your attention?
No, but I mean, if you've got the games there for a reason, and the games are heightened more than the practices are, so why wouldn't you want to give your starters 20 plays in the game? I don't get it.
I'm with you 100%.
I don't understand. I mean, that's the ultimate test. You want to talk about a dress rehearsal?
Yeah.
That's your dress rehearsal.
Especially on offense, where their biggest issues so far, I don't think, have been while Caleb's throwing 15 interceptions or guys are dropping balls. It's about being able to get in and out of the huddle quickly, to get the play off, to get all of the formation set.
The process.
Yeah, all of the process. And nothing does that better than playing on.
You don't know what the other team's going to give you either. You don't know whether they're going to be solid vanilla or whether they're going to come out and they're going to play what they're going to play. They want you to put a lot on film, so you've got to prepare for a lot. That first team that's going to play them in the regular season is going to look at a film that says, hey, look at this. They ran a bunch of stuff here, and we've got to prepare for a lot here. That's what we have to do. You don't really have to guess, but it just depends what defense you're going to go against. Either way, it's good to get your starters out there.
Yeah.
A brand new offensive line.
A team that won 5 games last year, you don't think they need some work?
Maybe 80% of your group. They need to be out there. How much is enough? 20 games in the first game. 20 plays. 30 plays in the second game.
Keep it simple if you want to.
If in the final game you want to say, hey, I'm not going to play him, fine. But at what point are they going to get their 50 to 60 plays that they need to get in the regular season?
Are you an advocate of the practicing with other teams?
Doesn't bother me. I've done it both ways.
I know. I've always felt, having done it, that it was a nice change of pace. You're going against guys that obviously have different tendencies, and I think it's good for you. And B, I think it gets you amped up even a little bit more. So if I'm a coach evaluating the battle at left tackle or a cornerback or wherever it is, I'm going to get a better feel for who that guy is when he's facing somebody who's not wearing the same colored jersey as I am.
Yeah, you want to see him up against different people because you've seen him up against all the people that you've got in camp. So everybody's in camp. He's had repetitions against everybody. Let's get somebody fresh that he hasn't seen. Now he's got to go out there and stick with his basics, and he's got to be able to block. He's got to be able to beat a block. He's got to find a way to bring a guy down. That's what it's all about now.
Well, and you can basically dictate what you're doing at practice as well. You may only have a handful of red zone plays or opportunities in the preseason game on Sunday afternoon, whereas in practice you can spend a full 30 minutes on it because you have agreed with the Dolphins staff that this is what we're going to work on.
This is why playing them in the game is even more important.
Because you don't know what they're going to do.
Because anything, not only that, but then you get a sudden change.
Yeah.
Where there's a turnover. Now all of a sudden you got to pop the offense on when they look like they were going to be able to relax. You forced a turnover. You're out there now. Now you're in the red zone. You're in the kill zone. Do we go for the end zone on the first play?
Yeah.
Do we set stuff up? Are we trying to score? That kind of thing. And that's good for the coaches. It's good for the players. So I would hope they would get some time. Otherwise, we're back to doing the same thing.
Okay, True Fan Travel and ESPN Chicago are teaming up for the ultimate fan getaway to Sin City. That's right. We're going to see the Bears take on the Raiders in Vegas at the end of September. It's going to be great.
What do you get? Round trip airfare. You get a 3-night stay at Mandalay Bay. You got special live broadcasts of all the fellas. We're going to be there, guys. It's going to be Friday. It's going to be Saturday. It's going to be all the stuff on Sunday. It's going to be fantastic. You get to meet the ESPN Radio Chicago 1000 team, all-inclusive tailgate with all the bells and the whistles. Tickets to the Bears-Raiders game, which is probably the most important thing in the world, and there's more to come.
All right, spots are limited, so do not wait. Reserve your spot today at truefantravel.com.
Boom.
I would be very disappointed. I would be surprised as well if the starters aren't out there on Sunday.
If you're not going to value the preseason games, don't play them. You know what I'm saying? Just don't play them.
Listen, this team,
come to work August 1st. Don't pretend like they matter, the exhibition games. If they don't matter, then don't play them. And then you can have your little crossover games or your little crossover practices where you control everything.
You just don't have enough time with your guys to not take advantage, especially with a new staff and new faces.
Right.
You don't have the luxury of just saying, hey, you know what? Our group's been together now for 2 or 3 years. We know what to expect. We'll show up week 1 of the regular season, and we feel pretty confident that everyone will be on the same page. We don't have that.
Right. If Detroit or Green Bay wanted to cruise control through something, they could, because they've been around for a while. They've had coaches that have been around for a while, and I know Detroit lost 2 of theirs, but, and they've lost some linemen, but they won't cruise control through their practices.
If they come out...
Well, Green Bay, there's no cruise control there. They're trying to find receivers that can play, for heaven's sake.
If they come out... First of all, Ben Johnson, you're good with Ben Johnson.
Yeah, absolutely.
If they come out on Sunday and their starters aren't playing, how will that make you feel about what has transpired so far in training camp?
All I want to know is why are you not utilizing everything you can to get your team to where it needs to be? Why? And
it can't be that we have mastered all of these things because their problems have been less about physical mistakes and more about procedural mistakes.
Right. The point is that now you get to do it with the cameras on and the world starting to look at you. And now how do you react?
Now, look, I feel even more emphatically about the offense than I do the defense. I want the defensive guys to be out there as well. But if Kevin Byard isn't out there on Sunday, that will be, less disturbing to me than if Caleb Williams and Ozzie Trapillo and others aren't out there trying to find some rhythm offensively, because the week 1 of the regular season will be here well before you think it will.
On August 18th, Monday, I'm going to ask the question, where's number 1 at? 2 games have gone by. Where's number 1 at? Jalen Johnson. Where's he at?
Well,
that's what I'm going to want to know. Because we're here. We're 3 weeks away.
It was kind of a disturbing comment to hear from Ben Johnson the other day when they asked about him, and he said, I don't know exactly how you guys, Chris and Adam, you may remember exactly how he worded it, but it was like, our hope is, or we think there's a shot that he'll be ready for week 1.
Didn't he say there's a path to?
He said there's a scenario.
Okay.
Scenario.
That is not very comforting at this juncture.
So that's my one area of concern. I don't care how good you other guys are playing there. There's somebody's, the guy that's in his place he looks sharp. He's been looking good. It's not what I want to know. I want to know when number 1 is getting back. Because that guy's probably your nickel guy or your 5th defensive back that comes on when Gordon switches over to something else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm hoping that you'll get an opportunity. I said to Sylvie the other day, there's a couple of things that I want to get your impression of. First of all, Ozzie Trapillo playing left tackle. From my perspective, I don't have any offensive line experience. He looks a little uncomfortable right now, which could be expected because he's not used to playing that position, especially at this level. And whether or not you think Adengbo, the kid that they signed as a free agent from the Colts, may be used better inside than outside.
But I talked about positional versatility.
No, you did.
Yeah.
But if you see him on the edge and then you see him kicked in, where you think he will be best utilized?
I always thought in past situations he'd be kicked inside. And I thought they'd use somebody else on the outside. So I always thought he was coming out of a 3 technique when they were in nickel and dime. So that was always the plan. I believe that during the base defense, he'd be out there at defensive end.
Right.
And then they'd kick him down when it came time.
And then are you comfortable with Dom Robb on the outside or
Well, I'm comfortable with anybody they believe is ready to get to the quarterback from that side.
Or do you believe that they should still keep their eyes and ears open and maybe try to upgrade that position before the regular season gets here?
I don't think they're going to trade for the guy in Dallas.
How about the guy in Cincinnati?
I don't think they're going to trade for the guy in
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Would you trade for the guy in Cincinnati or Dallas?
I already said I'd put them both down. I'd put them both as yes. I would. Yeah, if you think this team's close. If you think this team's got a chance,
you're better with either guy.
If you want to compete, yeah, but you're going to have to give something up. You give more up for the kid in Dallas,
right,
than you do for the kid in Cincy.
Yeah, I heard Shea talking about maybe if he'd be willing to give up 3 first-round picks for the kid in Dallas.
No,
I can't do that because I don't know for certain the quarterback is the right guy. You're going to give Micah Parsons, if you trade for him, the largest defensive contract in the history of the sport, and you're going to have no currency to have to pivot and move if you do have to make a change at quarterback at some point.
No, and again, so I don't think the Bears are making a move. I don't think the Bears are going to get him. I don't think the Bears are going to want to improve to that situation. I think they've got some answers on the defensive line, so we'll see what they have.